Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Movie Watch Live. We're back again after a short break to celebrate the life of probably the most well-known actor from Scotland ever, and one of the most well-known British actors in movie history. It was a sad day when we learned of the passing of Sir Sean Connery, deeply, deeply missed by us all. A day that we thought we'd never see. We thought he was one of the immortals who would never die. But indeed, that day finally came. And amongst all the white noise of this year, which I think most of us would be glad to see the back of, this man passed on to hopefully a better life. And we will miss him deeply. A man who was in so many different movies, so many different genres, and was a household favorite to almost everybody. And tonight I'm joined by Badback Ralph and Rudyard Flash. Badback Ralph is upside down because I think he's in traction. Are you in traction, Ralph?
Pretty close. I threw my back out a couple of weeks ago, so it's like I'm spending as much time inverted as possible. So I'll be drinking my scotch through a straw this evening and doing my best to keep up. And that was a very touching tribute to Sir Sean Connery, and I don't want to destroy the tone of your memorial, but I'm going to by saying 2020, I wave my private parts at you. I will be glad to see you gone.
As the French knight in Monty Python and the Holy Grail said, I fart in your general direction.
That's right. Your mother smells of elderberries and your father was a hamster. Get out, 2020. No more.
Indeed. And you haven't seen this movie before, have you, Rob?
I have not. Now, I did prep because I know this is a prequel to Time Bandits. So I went back and to prep for the movie. I watched Highlander this afternoon, but I didn't watch this movie or Time Bandits, which makes absolutely no sense. But I know this is a prequel to that.
Excellent. Yeah, it's around the same time. There's a lot of similarities with the locations as well. And also, wow, there's just too much to unpack with this movie with the kind of story that it is. But before we go into all of that, I'd like to welcome Rudyard Flash, who tonight is a little poochy wearing what looks like a flying cap. Welcome, Rudyard Flash. How are you? And have you seen this movie before?
I have. I barely remember it. I know the ending, but
yes,
I won't give that away.
Don't spoil it, yeah. Or she would just go to the last 5 minutes. Do. Well, that was that. Thanks, everybody.
There you go. All right.
Well, you know, we've already done several Sean Connery movies on this channel, haven't we?
Yes.
And remember we did, and it's so weird because not only has Sean passed away, but several months ago, do you remember we did Goldfinger because Honor Blackman passed away?
Yeah.
So they're both now gone. Any thoughts on the fact that we've lost one of the greats of cinema?
It's just so many different things that he was in. I mean, of course, everybody remembers him for Bond, but I will always remember the impact he made in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where he made the jump into the fatherly role, playing the father to the Indiana Jones character, Henry Jones, and just watching him make those jumps and play all the different roles is truly impressive.
I'll have to correct you on that. It was Indiana Jones and the
Last Crusade.
Last Crusade. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're absolutely
That's
correct.
all right. Look, I'm not going to take it out of your wages because I don't pay you.
Well,
they got the Holy Grail wrong anyways, right?
Yeah,
I think it's because we already talked about the Holy Grail, which pops up everywhere. In fact, I've got it in my cupboard here. I use it to drink beer out of.
I am inverted and filled with scotch, so
that's totally acceptable.
Yeah, it happens.
But we did Goldfinger. We've done A Bridge Too Far on this channel. We've done Highlander, and we've done Time Bandits. So a lot of movies he was in the 70s, and obviously loads in the 60s with the James Bond movies. And he covered so many different genres as well. But this movie comes from 1975. It's regarded as one of the most favorite movies he did. It's also one of Michael Caine's favorite movies. See, but it talks about this movie. He says, I like this one a lot.
Brother.
Yeah,
People.
I got the missus involved. You see, so more money into the household. You see, I got the missus working as well for me.
We were working on some fat stacks of cash.
Yeah, so
we needed a poo.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Son of Colonel makes a really good point. Lots of famous movies were shot at Atlas Studios on location in Morocco. Yeah, so
there you go.
This movie. Part of it was shot in India, I believe, but it was also shot in as well. It was shot in Morocco, which is why it has a really unique feel to it, because it has that sort of strange, where is this in the world feel, which is what I think John Huston was going for. The Lady Kay says that she's releasing the Kraken. Yes. But John Huston, the director, a lot of people, what a unique director, what a strange, eccentric director, but a real one-off. And that really comes through in this movie as well. So, and Christopher Plummer, you said it as well, didn't you, Flash? Christopher Plummer's in this as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays the role of Rudyard Kipling. So the book was written by Rudyard Kipling, but this adaptation has Rudyard Kipling as a character in the story, and it's a retelling of the story based from not Rudyard Kipling as narrator, but the character of Peachy Carnahan. Peachy, and my mate's called Daniel. Oh yes, Daniel. Right. Yes. So I got Daniel and Peachy. So they're the main characters. So Sean Connery plays Daniel DeVrock, Michael Caine plays Peachy Carnahan, and Christopher Plummer plays Rudyard Kipling. And we've also got the fantastic Saeed Jaffrey. So Saeed Jaffrey, brilliant Indian actor who plays Billy Fish. Billy Fish, the far-flung British Army, I believe he's a corporal in the movie, who they come across later on in the story. And there's a lot of echoes in this movie about Heart of Darkness. There's a lot of things that were set up in this story, I believe, that influenced a lot of other narratives. And quite rightly, you said this also sort of set up things for Time Bandits as well. So fantastic movie, I think. And it's
Batman.
Yeah, because the locations that they go to and
there's a very specific scene that kind of references the Dark Knight.
Well, if we're talking about those secluded kind of weird monasteries hidden away, then think about
Giant Ruby.
Well, yeah, think about one of Christopher Plummer's last movies that he did, directed by Terry Gilliam, which was the
Parnassus or whatever.
Yes, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. It doesn't really trip off the tongue, that one. But, he plays Dr. Parnassus. And that's similarly sort of set in these far-flung places. I mean, this is supposed to be the Hindu Kush, or further over the, further north, over the other side of the Himalaya. But it's a fantastic movie. And, of course, don't forget that Rudyard Kipling was actually Indian. He was British, but he was born in India. So he was raised, yes, in a British environment, but he was raised in that culture of India. So he was steeped in all of it. He knew all of it intimately when he was writing about it. So I think I've at least talked too much already about all of this. So hopefully we've bored all of you as already.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. Have a good night. And everybody be sure and click like and subscribe.
Click like, subscribe, and etc. Hit the bell, press the button,
like.
And don't forget
that like button.
And tickle the knockers. Don't forget to tickle the knockers.
And we're not going to talk about cigarettes in this episode.
No. So, without further ado, let's get started on the movie. So this is a commentary. I'd like to say that because
I also learned we can't talk about British ice cream bars either.
British ice cream bars.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Don't get me to say something.
Yeah,
I think if you say the name of it, your channel will be gone.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm not even going to try to think what that is.
This is some lore.
It's spelled a little different, but it has all the letters except for one.
Okay, you'll have to tell me that after the show because there's a list of 100 different reasons why the video can be smashed.
It's an ice cream bar that I just learned about, and I was like, oh, I can see why we don't have those in America.
Yeah.
Okay.
They look delicious, but yeah, that name might not go over too well.
I can imagine.
Okay. Well, you'll have to tell me after the show because
I will.
It's not jumping to mind anyway. But I'm sure it'll be. I think the rule is some people have to have something to be outraged about every single second of the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and let me apologize in advance because I'm sure I'll be the one to trigger it. So my apologies.
That's all right. I'd have to look for the ice creams later. Just okay. Right. So this is a commentary show. So we're not actually going to watch. We're going to watch a movie, but we've got our own copies. We're not going to play the movie. So when people say, "Where's the movie?" It's like, no, sorry, we don't play the movie here. We're just, if you want to listen to us natter on about it, that's what this is. So if you like that, stay, comment, join in. If you don't, that's fine. But we're not going to be actually putting the movie on the screen. So I'll just make that clear. So we have our own copies of the movie. We'll be starting in just a second with a countdown. We count down 3, 2, 1, then we say go. But before we do that, just to give everybody time to get their own copy together, a quick recap. 1975, and it's The Man Who Will Be King, directed by John Huston. It stars Sean Connery, Michael Caine, Christopher Plummer, and of course, it also stars the wonderful Shakira Caine, who was Michael Caine's missus, and still is. He's still married to her now. Now, that is an achievement. And Saeed Jaffrey, who plays Billy Fish, are the chief actors in this story. So, without further ado, we'll get started. Gentlemen, have you both got your copies at the ready?
Roger.
Primed and ready?
Powder's primed. You've got your starter charge. Ready, aim. And on my command, front rank, fire after my countdown. Ready?
Alrighty.
3, 2, 1. Front rank, fire!
Kablooey.
Bing a bang. And I have the Columbia logo.
The drone of the various musical instruments of the Indian subcontinent. So I think we might actually already be in Morocco here.
Possibly.
This might not be India.
All right, for those of you following along at home, I'm hanging from an inversion table, swaying from side to side as I boogie to the sitar.
And this is Saturday afternoon down the market. 4 for a pound. 4 for a pound.
There you go, man. It's just like any Saturday afternoon in Texas.
Yep.
It's your red hot monkey brain right over here.
French fried monkey brains. Come on, deep fried French fried monkey brains.
Come on, man. Deep fried funnel cake and monkey brains.
And we're about to meet. Obviously, we're getting this is the scene of the market which attracts everybody and anybody who are trying to make money out of anything. And this is real footage that John Huston was interested in. It's the exotic. Yeah, he's guru.
So they're shooting the rodeo, basically.
Yeah, and this man likes to wear scorpions on his face and then put them in his mouth. It's a tasty snack.
Yeah, you know, it's a neat trick. You can do it once.
Yeah, and this, you see, we've all gone through that, having a boiling hot cup of tea, and this person's singing in their mind to a pair of snakes.
Yeah, you know, hey,
as you do.
Yeah, you know, best thing for a toddler to play with is a couple of venomous snakes. Why not?
Yeah.
John Huston,
how else will they learn?
Oh, and there's Sean. God,
you hypnotizing the snake, or the snake hypnotizing you?
Wise and biting commentary there. Shay. When you stare into the snake stares back.
Yes. You know, there's a bridge stunt in this movie right at the end. I won't go into any more detail, but I think that was ripped off for Temple of Doom. In fact, now think of it, most of Temple of Doom was ripped off from this movie.
That would make sense.
And another Rudyard Kipling movie, Gunga Din.
Yeah, that's it. So Spielberg is a hack.
Yep.
Go back to film school.
Used to be good at it, though.
So here we see the shadowy figure shuffling in through the night into the offices of the press, the newspaper, the Northern Star. And here writing is Rudyard Kipling, played by none other than
General Chang.
Christopher Plummer. And there's the sort of gust of wind as the door opens, and the shadow and thump.
Oh, no. Actually, sorry, that was me. I had Mexican.
Ah, right. And here he is. Hello. I've come back.
Hello.
Brother Kipling, because they're all Masons. So
we used to hang out by the Po.
By the Po.
By the Po.
By the Po. So the first thing he wants to drink, that's a wise choice.
Yeah. So it's exactly how I open up all of my dialogues.
Just a drink. He's got a fair bit of injury to his face there. And hands. And I love that little look he gives there. Yeah. And this is where Rudyard finally realizes who it is. Because it's been years since the telling of the story. It's years and years. And so Michael's character is just describing the origin of the sort of bargain, the plan that they had. Be a doubt, Daddy. The same and not the same. So he's no longer the same person. It's as if he's like a ghost. He said, keep looking at me to stop my soul from flying off. So he's only walking the earth still in order to bring this story back to Rudyard. And you can imagine that after he's done that, he'll give up the ghost, you know. I'm at 6.5 minutes, gentlemen.
Yep. I am at 6:25.
Yep.
Sir Michael Caine has the watch and is now after Rudyard.
Bloody hell. I've got his watch and he's amazing. Better give it back. Oh, my head will end up getting found in somebody's bottom drawers.
Masons.
See that girl there just broke the fourth wall. She looked right at the camera.
Well, you know,
Tony. Yeah. Hey, Tony. Long time no see. Good eye, Tony.
Good day, Tony.
I don't even want to think what time it is over there right now.
Yeah, afternoon, Mike.
Yeah. How is tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah,
tomorrow evening, probably.
That's the future. And it's summertime down there, so it'll be hot.
That's bizarre.
Yeah. So this is Michael Caine's. This is Michael Caine's in the carriage with Rudyard, and he's trying to get the ideal moment to put the watch back, and he's I've got to put a watch back in the pocket. I've got to wait till he's asleep.
So he's got to do a reverse pickpocket.
Yeah.
So the pickpocket part was easy, but the reverse pickpocket is
place pocket. Yeah. Place pocket.
Inception pocket.
Yes. Hello. Thanks very much. I'll have the paper. You know what? Michael Caine loves doing movies where he's in a railway carriage. Like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. He likes that especially.
Yeah.
Hang on. I've stopped here. It's somebody's getting on. And they've got a huge watermelon. But it's not a woman. So this guy's announcing the fact that he's a failed university student.
That also is how I introduced myself. First thing, I try and let them get me drunk. Next up, I tell them, oh, by the way, I'm a high school failure and I can't complete my GED.
So it's 11 a.m. over in Australia.
Well, there you go.
Moment, and it's freaking hot, mate.
Hey, well, in Texas, the heat has finally broken. So my sympathies to you, my brother. My brother from down under.
Yep.
Right.
So, sorry, go ahead.
I have to do it since I mentioned Texas.
Yep.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. All right, I'll spare you the rest.
This is where Mark will get out. Come on, back her off. Yeah, it's problematic, that is.
Yes. Watermelon seeds aren't that offensive.
Well, they're only going 5 miles an hour, so it won't be that bad. But, the character he's playing is not exactly a nice guy.
Oh, no, but
you see how
nice.
He's used him as an excuse to say, he stole your watch. He stole your watch. It's a very naughty boy.
That's why I threw him out the bloody coach.
Yeah, yes. Do you like my haircut? It's a 70s. It's a 70s haircut. I'm looking really sexy.
I got when we were recording Dark Side of the Wall
Very
of the
nice.
Moon.
Yes.
Dark Side of the Wall. There we go.
Yes.
I'll just mash up all the albums.
It's 1975, and I'm loving it. I'm going to see Pink Floyd later.
Kenny says no spitting on the floor.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
no spitting your seeds.
That's
Don't be
right.
putting your seeds on the floor.
We run a respectable trailer park around here.
Yes. So the trivia I've got for this movie is just ridiculously long. It's so much. But the characters of, well, first of all, Michael Caine and Sean Connery, they're both jobbing soldiers. They're really just mercenaries and criminals. So they've worked out that war is just theft and murder on a grand scale. So why not just be a thief?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, now
Why
question.
be a thief when you can steal a whole country?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do, Flash. We're trying to do that in this movie. You see, we're trying to steal a whole country, but we're not using dodgy machines to do it. I won't use the name. I don't want to get a strike. We're not using the dodgy machines. We're just using the old-fashioned way. You know, guns.
Well, okay, but question. If the United States has black water, was it red water back when you guys used them? Just wondering.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Yes. Someday you shall see Montana. Oh, sorry, wrong movie.
By the way, Michael Caine and Christopher Plummer also played in the same movie, Without a Clue, which is, I think we've mentioned that before. It's a comedy movie.
Oh,
Where he plays a really... See, look, I don't even... It's walking pace, this.
And Without a Clue, another Michael Caine train movie, no doubt.
I just
Train
swear...
on a train.
I'm getting off the train because it's only walking pace anyway. Just what a waste of time. He's looking for Danny DeVroe.
Now, I noticed that he said he missed his watch in the station, and then
Yes.
Michael Caine said he was just checking to make sure he was a Mason.
Yes, but that's well, it's a lie, isn't it? He's a dirty liar. Holy trousers! Hang on, I'll change the Sean. Changing the
Sean Connery.
Ah, yes. Well, you've got the range.
I've got some glorious mustaches here.
I love the mutton chops.
Oh, yeah.
mutton chops beard.
I should grow them in, but I can't hold the mirror upside down.
I have to say that Sean was in a lot of different movies, but his accents were brilliant. For instance, when he played an ancient Egyptian, hello, I'm an ancient Egyptian, and when he played a Russian submarine captain, hello, I'm a Russian submarine captain.
You know, I noticed in Highlander as he was playing an Egyptian Spaniard. Hello,
Yes.
I'm an Egyptian Spaniard.
You're a liar.
Without a Clue, Tony Nasser says, is awesome. It is. That's done by the same people who did the Airplane movies, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Which one?
Without a Clue.
It may be. I don't know.
I love that bit there where Sean's just totally wound him up and said, we're going to pretend to be writers from the Northern Star. And he's, no, you can't do that. Identity theft. I like the way he's moving the fan, by the way, the guy there with his big toe. Yeah, Without a Clue, I think it wasn't done by the Airplane people, but it was like a sort of spoof comedy. But yeah, it was it was the movie where Michael Caine played Sherlock Holmes, but it was satirical. It was the idea that Sherlock Holmes didn't know anything. He was a paid actor, and the person who solved all the mysteries was actually Watson, who was played by I think Ben Kingsley.
Kingsley, yeah.
And it's a fantastic movie, really good.
Is that the one with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
This was 1988, I think. 88,
okay.
89, I'm not sure.
I heard that was terrible beyond compare.
It was. It was actually one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
So we're now at the point where the two Masonic brothers, the two soldiers of fortune, Danny and Peachy, are now proposing their plan. So let's listen to their plan. Yes, it was Ben Kingsley. Absolutely. Fantastic movie, that, Tony. So they're getting a they're getting a pardon for absolutely everything that they've done. What?
It pays to be a Mason.
I like the way they've got white suits, but the white suits are really filthy dirty.
A man from Del Monte.
The bed for the bodies. It's been shoveling coal all night. So, Christopher Plummer plays Rudyard Kipling. Membership in Freemasons is central to the story. But he also played Sherlock Holmes once as well, even Plummer, who uncovers a conspiracy by Freemasons. So, detriments. That was the 19th century equivalent of Despicables, by the way. The people who built a bloody empire.
A bag of spirituals.
Built a bloody empire. Thank you very much.
I just love the indignation. It's like,
Tony
we weren't going to blackmail him.
Tony Nasser swinging them out the park, knocking them out the park tonight. Paul Belloc Freeman was Moriarty. Paul Belloc Freeman. That was a good movie, actually. Yeah, so actually, despite all the talk of India, Afghanistan, etc., none of this movie was actually filmed anywhere near the Indian subcontinent.
It's all in Morocco, right?
Yeah.
All the filming. Which is good, because if John Huston had made it 20 years before, it would have been in California. With was it Humphrey Bogart and Clark Gable, right?
So they've been refused any sort of help from the local government commissioner. So they've gone directly to see. This is brilliant. This. Watch this. We've got to do this. When I come to the States, this is what we're going to do. Bang. That's gangster style.
Absolutely. We'll do that.
Now, the scene we've just seen where they were arrested or questioned on suspicion of blackmail, the hats off about turn, left turn was Michael Caine's idea, inspired by the routine of command and when he was in national service in the British Army. And it shows that although he's been formally discharged from the service, everybody most British soldiers, especially at this time, these two characters still take pride in the fact that they were part of the British Army. So they've still got a lot of personal code, as it were. So what was that region that we're talking about?
Afghanistan.
Don't say Turkistan, please.
Durka.
I'll leave that up to you.
Did you know that Peter O'Toole was also asked to play Rudyard Kipling in this movie?
Yeah, well, reading through all this stuff, it's like everybody that was ever involved with this died. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'd be kind of antsy about taking a part in it.
So they're talking about Kafiristan, which is a real place. It's part of present-day Afghanistan. As we all know, you don't go anywhere near bloody Afghanistan. The British Army there was there for a while, and they got the shit kicked out of them for many years. Mm-hmm. Then the Russians went there. They got the shit kicked out of them for many years. Then the US Army went there, and they didn't have a good time either. And there's nothing there except opium.
No. And when the U.S. leaves, it will go back to being exactly like it was before we ever went there.
Yep.
The same as every other nation that tries to conquer Afghanistan.
Well, let's not talk about interventionists right now.
No, that's true. That's true.
Let's just say that if certain things happen the way we don't want them to happen, there'll be a lot of war machinery being made.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of money made, but let's not go into that.
No, absolutely not. We will not be political in this.
So there's their little code that they're right. The suit that that Sean Connery's wearing is excellent. Those round collars.
Oh
those,
yeah.
Those
linen suit.
With that linen suit is fantastic. That should make a comeback, really. Not that I'm a hipster, but that is a fantastic. It's a fantastic look.
I've got to say, this agreement they're signing sounds an awful lot like the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
I'm just thinking it sounds like it's. I know it's probably in the book. I haven't read the book. I'll admit my ignorance. But it sounds a lot like the Hobbit movie that. Wasn't it John Huston that did an animated Hobbit movie?
He was Gandalf. In a hole in the ground with the Hobbit.
And so I don't even have many gifts here. I've got different backgrounds. I'll put that one on. I've got no gifts. I haven't bothered. Never mind, no gifts tonight. But the idea of the contract before the adventure. It's probably a standard thing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's completely on the up and up. Yeah.
There we are. Kafiristan. Well, they're a couple of rascals, that's Lady K. Not so little rascals. Daughter, Roxanne.
Roxanne.
You don't
want to put on the light.
He's from my neck of the woods, him.
Oh, you and Gordon hang out together?
Oh, yes. Back in the day, not. But he was a teacher, and he gave up being a teacher to go down to London and play, form the band Police.
Yeah, I mistakenly downloaded The Man Who Would Be Sting. So.
Oh. It's all about tantric
I
poses.
thought it would be a musical, but apparently it was about the wrestler. So
Rule 34 is in effect now.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Brah! Woo, brah!
Naughty house of ill repute.
Take you, kill you, murder you, and cut your throat.
Well, that'll do it.
Pretty descriptive, yeah.
That'll do it. Those little rickshaws are the original version of the tuk-tuk. This is all Morocco. It's clearly not India.
Yeah, watch out for the camels. They spit.
Yeah, but at least they got real brown people. Like I said,
like
if it was
the
made
way that
20 years before, it would have been California. So it'd be like
Yeah.
a lot of people painted brown.
Yeah, which is
true.
not good. I like the way they've been able to create a hat, a turban for Sean, which has pre-fitted dreadlocks.
Well, he has some interesting hair pieces in most movies.
I think Lady K is a little bit ahead of us, or does she just know all the dialogue off by heart?
She probably knows all the dialogue by heart, knowing her. Yes. Little
Now, is
rascals,
this problematic?
he
The brown face? Is this brown face, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm sorry.
It's part of the story, though, right?
See, you're going to be
problematic.
You're going to be single-handedly responsible for getting Sir Michael Caine canceled now. # me too.
How else
all
is
right,
Michael
all he
Caine
has to
going
do-
to get into college?
No, he'd be fine. All he has to do is get voted in as Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Yeah. Rajiv de Gamba. He was. I like
Wait a minute.
I like Christopher Plummer's glasses. By the way, they're real. He does a good job with them. I mean, most people would associate them as like Gestapo glasses, wouldn't they? The guy in Lost Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Excuse me. I think those are high capacity lever action rifles. I'm not sure those are California compliant.
Well, this is what year is this based in?
I think 1873 ish.
1885.
Oh,
1885.
Okay. It was repealed by then.
So if it's 1885, he's asking to take you. See, now there's the key. So it's as if, the idea is that Rudyard Kipling's character is so crucial to what happens. He gives him that symbol, and then it's the idea that is this not all just a pure fantasy? It is a novel written by Kipling, but as we're watching this, we suspend disbelief and we believe these events really happened. But Rudyard being a character in the movie, is it like a fantasy, based on Rudyard's own experiences, which in reality was.
This is like something that's also been copied in newer movies, is where they put the author in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on a minute. Is it just me, or is Sean Connery holding the pinwheel of freedom?
I was going to say, yeah, he's got the pinwheel there.
The great pinwheel of friendship is rotating. So
Now I think he's just hypnotized the set. Oh no, he hasn't hypnotized him. He's given him commands. He doesn't know where the commands are coming from. What are you doing, boy? You silly boy. You silly boy.
I should slap him with a fish right now.
Slap him with a headache. Gold pinwheel. Yes. Yes. All sorts of headaches. Yes. Now, this is the idea that this is the real character of Sean. This is him being able to be whoever he wants to be, and he's at leisure. He can just have fun. He can entertain himself. This is the real king, right? Not the person who becomes like Kurtz later on in the movie. That's my pet theory out of the way. Tony Nasser said General Chang von Trapp.
Ooh.
I love this bit where Sean dances. Sean is actually, I don't know about you, but I think that was quite a good little jig there from Sean.
It is. I did that exact same dance when I threw my back out.
Yeah. Right. It was a muzzle loading rifle that was in service in 1885. The Afghans don't waste ammunition.
No,
With
don't.
the F Genj.
140 years later, and they're still there.
So it was the Lee Metford smokeless powder invented around that time, which
Ooh.
so you could actually see who you were shooting at.
That does help.
Makes a change. So the scenes later in the movie where they're going over the Himalayas are so there's all these little peculiar little surrealistic moments where they've just come across a little boy with a rifle hiding in the rocks. That's typical of John Huston, isn't it? These little sort of like surreal moments in his movies. So here they are blowing up the goats. He shut down until with this kilt unknowingly. And also this is like what you were saying before, Flash, about how westerns are all like legends. People, or fake, and these military stories are all legends as well, aren't they? This is a military tale. Did these people really exist? Is it exaggerated? This is a good scene, gentlemen, where they're about to be ambushed. It's fantastic. This. Give me your opinion of this as it unfolds. This could have been used in any spaghetti western. This scene.
Yeah.
Had to divide free Afghans, 2 years, have 2 Englishmen left, and half a penny and a shilling. Gents, I was caught short today. I haven't got any beer. I'm actually drinking White Zinfandel.
Oh,
so it's like, why? Hello. We're just touring around because everybody's lovely and all cultures are equally safe. No danger here. I'm just chewing me backy. It was a Martini Henry Mark IV long lever rifle, 1885. Very accurate. Although arms experts might know a lot more than me about it. Because what you said, lol, I love that jig. And Tony just says, Gorge. Oh, it's a shame, honestly. But I think Sean, because he had dementia, he's been out of the game for almost 15 years anyway, hasn't he?
Yeah. So, 2002 or 3 was his last movie. Yeah.
And of course, Michael Caine was his best mate. Really close to him, strong friendship, being friends for many years. And he sort of said that he wasn't in a good way quite a few years ago. So there you go. He spat a bullet into the fire. It's a good trick, isn't it, gents?
Yeah, I'll have to remember
that one. Just have a bullet in your mouth when you're doing your next barbecue.
Exactly.
Distract the individuals who might come round in here.
Yes. The baddies.
Are we the baddies?
Well, we've got skulls for buttons.
Shall we start forward? Now, this must have been filmed in the Himalayas. This is the Himalayas, isn't it? By the way, these
looks Himalayas, yeah.
This is some of the best cinematography in the entire movie, gents. Just enjoy this. This is unctuous. These gorgeous shots, these, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, gents, but I'm really enjoying this movie. How about you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, hold on. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's the topic. The movie.
The movie.
Movies.
So this movie's held up a lot better than Rudy Giuliani's hair dye anyway. So
why do old men do that?
Like, when he went in the room and he said, "Hey, it's hot in here. Does anybody else think it's really hot in here?" Yeah,
my hair's melting. Isn't that crazy?
Why did I use
my hair is literally turning to liquid.
Why did I use a Reese's Nutrageous bar to color my hair? It's melting. Nuts and chocolate everywhere.
It's like I'd watched something Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing, and he, has the hair dye, and you're like, oh, you look so much older with the fake hair.
Yeah,
just let it go white.
Did you like that scene there where they were going over the impossible bridge of snow? That's another typical John Huston thing. I don't know why I keep saying bloody Hudson. That's a river, goddammit.
John Hudson Hawk.
The Houston River. There probably is a Houston River, isn't there? This is another kind of. I'm pretty sure that Indiana Jones was ripped off from this movie. A lot of the stuff you see in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Now you see how Sean's character Danny has gone blind. That's a Masonic symbol. So there's certain Masonic references, but it's also an archetype of the blind king.
Yeah.
So, and their bridges have literally collapsed behind them, so they've got no choice now to go onward. So, in the book, these symbols are more obvious, but I mean, it's Houston brings them, brings them to the fore. And it's to make us think about the journey of life, how, we're talking about the hero's journey on this channel quite a lot. And the hero traditionally, thousands of years, would be go into unknown territories and come back with stories. So, and the earliest myths like Gilgamesh,
Yeah.
So, what's it? Tony Nasser says, if there's one thing we've learned in the last 1,000 miles of retreat, it's that Russian agriculture is in dire need of mechanization. And Kazweti says, hi, guys. Hello. Did you go somewhere?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Look who's back.
I've got to say, now that I've been on this inversion table, every time I go to the loo, it's quite embarrassing.
Pitchy. We have our lives spent. But these characters don't claim to be heroes, and this is a really honest bit of self-reflection here. You know?
I'm sorry. I just saw Tony's comment.
I know. Tanagra. What's the other one? Something when the walls fell.
Yes.
Good language is metaphor. I get it. Earl Grey hot.
I get it, my brother. Yeah, that's it.
Oh man. He got the Victoria. There's a bloody artist following around a bloody you.
I was gonna say they got it. They're laughing. It's gonna start an avalanche. There we go.
If you're normal, it's avalanche. If you're posh, it's avalanche.
Avalanche. Well,
But I'm
I'm
not posh.
avalanche.
I'm redneck Texan. It's like, holy crap, that's a lot of snow, man.
Snow tidal wave.
Yeah,
Whoa.
totally too much snow, man. So, and they've miraculously survived.
Well,
I like
course.
the way John Huston has put this sort of I mean, that's soap flakes, but just before the superimposed like chroma key snow.
Yes.
Well, I like that. It's totally obvious, but it's just, I don't know. It's just nice.
You can suspend disbelief enough to enjoy it.
Exactly.
You know?
So here we are on the other side of the Himalayas, or if you're Brad Pitt, Himalayas.
Get to the chopper. We'll get over the Himalayas.
The Himalayas. Brad Pitt, who's managed to convince the entire world that he's an actor.
Yeah, you know.
Sorry, that's just my opinion.
That might make him a good actor, right?
Ah, Tony says you mentioned Gilgamesh. Well, exactly. Yes, Gilgamesh, fantastic movie. So here we have we've seen the scene so many times in different movies, haven't we? But this is the ladies out cleaning the laundry and getting attacked by a rival tribe of brutes or savages, whichever they are.
Durka Durka.
Durka Durka.
Durka Durka laundry.
Don't say the other words. Please.
Yeah, no, please no.
Whoa! Wow, the Zinfandel's hitting me, gents.
Yeah, never ever fire a warning shot.
Oh no. This Zinfandel comes from California. No.
Oh no, you've got yank grapes running through your blood.
What's happening to me? Oh, it's like totally a good wine. And
well, I'm trying to build up the courage to I've cracked open the wild turkey, so I'm trying to work my way towards some Kentucky. So
well, I do like Maker's Mark is my favorite whiskey.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
that's where I'm at with whiskey.
Well,
I like the bourbon.
Well, wild turkey is good for stripping paint and quickly getting to the destination.
Yes, up your daisy, lad. He's got a thick set of hair there. Now this is where we're going to meet Saeed Jaffrey, a fantastic actor. Sadly, he's passed away as well. And this is pure Monty Python, this scene here, where they come up against this huge castle, all right?
All
no
right,
going, go away.
I was going to say, if a cow comes flying over the wall, I am in 100%.
But this, again, John Huston, who's got this fantastic talent for the absurd, is, I say, hello there. Are you Englishmen, please? And this is Saeed's character uses all of the upper class language, like jolly good and all that, you know. So, and then this purely, absolutely perfect Monty Python moment where the door opens and he runs all the way down. Watch this is great.
My name is Joe. I wave my private parts at you.
This is Billy Fish. He's a Gurkha.
And this was a Kipling thing too, of like the third character who's like the guide, the liaison between the cultures.
Exactly.
Because that's what Gunga Din is. He's the Indian that wants to be the British soldier.
And he's a better man than me or you.
Yeah.
Or I, Gunga Din. Gurkha rifleman Billy Fish. The Gurkhas, in case you don't know the British Army very well, are the elite of the British Army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Tony will know this. Basically, whenever the British Army went to war, if we sent the Gurkhas in, it was because it was a serious shit going on, and the enemy would literally crap their pants if they knew the Gurkhas are coming, because the Gurkhas are like the hardest.
That's who they sent to the South Pacific, right?
Seriously, I mean the Gurkhas are from northern India, I believe.
No, that's where like in World War II they sent them to the South Pacific.
Yes,
that was
they sent them
the harshest area.
Part. Yeah, and they are like literally the hardest. I mean, they're not big blokes. They're only like small but stocky blokes, you know. But they are ridiculous soldiers. I mean, they just have no fear whatsoever. So that's interesting how Rudyard Kipling made Billy Fish a Gurkha. The character was,
and
a
they
Gurkha.
had the coolest knives of anybody.
Oh yeah, well they don't use rifles or anything in close combat. They use their knives. I won't go into any further detail about that. But I'm just glad they became part of the British Army.
Yeah, exactly. One of the folks you're glad is on your side.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, there's lots of Gurkhas have won. I mean, a lot of them. If you look at the history of the British Army and the medals that have been won in different actions, a lot of Gurkha actions have been decorated with medals. Anyway, so now we're meeting the chieftain of this city, and I recognize this actor from somewhere else. I'm sure he's been in other movies. We're tumbled from the skies. Through the centuries we've been moving. We cannot die unless you cut our hands off. I've got to say, Sean.
Monologue recorded in a bathroom.
Can I just say, Sean really suits a turban.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? He really suits a turban.
It's that facial hair, that mutton chop look.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good look, that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're supposed to believe, this is 1885. We're supposed to believe that this city has been untouched by the British Empire and they've never seen a rifle. I can't really believe that, but this is what the story's based upon. They've gone to such a remote location that they have never seen a rifle.
Well, only Alexander the Great had been there, right?
Yeah. This bloke's comedy is fantastic. His facial expressions and everything. Indeed, Tony said the Gurkhas are hardcore. They definitely are. Absolutely hard as nails. Oh. So you see is I don't know the official name of the military cap that Saeed's wearing, but it's come apart and he's sort of trying to put it back together with bits of other fabric. And if you look at his uniform, he's had to basically recreate his uniform and sew it back together. So it's like, it's a weird thing. He's in the middle of nowhere, but he still honors the uniform that he's got. And it's fallen apart, so he's made a new one and sewn it back together with bits of other things. And I don't know, is that Urdu or Hindi? I'm not sure.
Probably Urdu.
Flash, you should know this.
It's Huttonese.
Huttonese.
Solo.
Jedi.
The mountains will echo your name.
All right, I'm. You're gonna have to refresh my geography. Is this supposed to be in like Western India, Eastern Pakistan area?
It's supposed to be Afghanistan.
like the northern tip of Afghanistan, right?
Yes. Yeah. Northwest tip.
It's like an uncharted region above Afghanistan or something.
Okay, I can't remember if it's. I would say push to or do.
Now this is a bloke who was attacking their women, right? Cut his bollocks off.
Well, you heard what they were doing. He said every time they would go out to bathe, all of the warriors would go upstream and urinate.
By the way, the next time somebody tells you something which you know is totally not true, instead of saying bullshit, I'd like you to just try out the word bollocks.
You've got it. Absolutely.
It's got a nice plosiveness to it.
Well, that's it. Most British swears do. It's like your American swears just lack, what we're shooting for.
It's because of the visceral Anglo-Saxon origin of a lot of them, but also the Irish origin of it. A lot of it. It's like, if you're going to say something, you have to be able to hit someone in the face with your word.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to eat this yogurt stuff. It's worse than it's. Hang on, it's just served me avocado toast. You like a bit of avocado toast, don't you, Ralph? That's hurt Ralph so much he's gone silent.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was just trying to imagine what's in the bowl because I've heard
avocado
so many
toast.
Stories. Yeah.
It's guacamole and avocado toast.
Yeah, it's like no, sorry. I will have to wait until I conquer all of your enemies to be worthy to eat the avocado toast.
You love the nice mushy green stuff, don't you?
The devil's nut.
Well, here they come there, offering themselves up to women. The women are all lining up the birch.
Oh, Kay has a comment.
Yes. A family funeral with what is that? What is that word, Lady Kay, for the noise they're making? There's a particular
ululation.
Is it called ululation?
Yeah, because I know that we do it all the time, but we just call it, hey man. But
now, whenever you see Saeed in this movie, he's always got a girl beside him somewhere.
Mushy peas. There, yes, indeed.
Yes, there it is. Ululation.
There we go.
Can we try a bit of it?
No, I can't do that. I can barely roll my R's for Spanish.
Only when I make my Xena attack do I make that sound.
So,
there you go.
Yes, at the Walmart counter.
They're playing polo with it. They're playing polo with an armadillo.
Yeah, do you know where the British sport of polo originated? It was from this part of the world, and they did originally play with a human head.
Oh, there we go.
Big head, big ball. Bloody heathens.
Don't be a racist, Danny.
Different countries, different customs. I'm progressive, Kane. So
I don't judge.
There we are, soldiery. Right. Yeah, babe.
Stand up and slaughter your
British
enemies
Army.
like civilized men.
The British Army. We can beat anybody in the world except the Americans.
Well, okay, a couple of times. Yeah.
It's funny, though. I mean, the old saying is America is where the British learned how to do empire properly, because we got such a drubbing that we learned how not to do it. So, yeah. But I have to admit that most of the empire, the British Army went up against people who were armed with pieces of sharp guava halves.
Mm-hmm. America was like the first time you met someone on an even footing, right?
Yeah, so it was like, bloody hell, they've got guns as well.
Why did we get them guns?
That's not fair. That's not bloody fair. That's not cricket.
Well, and the blanks are the
Why did
Yanks
we
are
build
bloody
a gun
crazy.
factory there?
There you are. Tony never rolls his R's.
I don't blame him. I don't roll my R's either.
Billy, tell it with the others. I only told you to blow the bloody doors off. With the bloody others. His feet. He's got his feet round the wrong way. Where you put the feet the right way. Where you, Saeed, where you get his feet. Nah, not that way. This way. Right, okay. Bloody hell. Somebody get me a cup of tea, for God's sake.
Perhaps a Zinfandel.
You know what I love about Michael Caine is no matter what costume you put him in, he looks like a stereotype British person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's never denied the fact that he is basically just a Cockney. That's all he ever was, and he doesn't have any airs or graces.
But like even in that outfit, you're like, yeah, he looks like a cartoon character of Britain.
Down to earth.
This is an Englishman, as you would see on a label of a bottle.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. She's fanning with her skirts. Hang on a minute. This is a bit racy, gents.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. I've what's going? Hang on. Right. Parties of the private parts. I love this line. Danny, thank God you arrived. Can we seek safety in battle? I love the way this like Afghanistani musical band has been taught to play the Minstrel Boy and different things. They're playing like Irish and British marching songs. Yes, it is very as your father. Better slap and tickle. Apple apples and pears, a bit of slap and tickle. How's your father, darling? Thank you, Dax. This is like pure Monty Python as well. They all just come running down the hill. Helter Skelter. It's like,
you know, I've got to say, I don't think this is modern warfare in action.
Well, I mean, this story, one of the threads that goes through, and I remember watching this with my dad years ago. And he said to me, he said, get a bloody job, you lazy bum. But apart from that, he said, this is the typical way the British Army used to work. They would recruit the locals, and two guys have now created an entire army out of nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Rome did, the same thing.
Yeah, the British Army was modeled on Rome, really. The British Empire, same idea.
Well, you take what works,
Yeah.
And this is
before that, the Persian Empire did the same thing.
Exactly.
Like whatever country they went to, they recruited rather than conquered.
Exactly, and it works. And Alexander the Great did the same as well. So they're doing exactly what Alexander did. Oh, bit of the old mooning going on there. So this is Michael Caine revisiting Zulu here. Front rack, fire. Second rack, reload. But the ice cream man's coming, so I've got to stop.
Yeah.
Who wants a choc guy?
Did you see Tony's comment?
Call of Duty Dick.
You know, I'm thinking that EA needs to put on another version.
Yeah, I would love that. Why don't they do a Call of Duty set in the late 19th century?
If they could get Caine to do a voiceover, and all he has to do is bloody hell.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Why I got eyes closed? If you're wondering, that's a pith helmet he's wearing.
Mm-hmm. These are probably the best looking uniforms ever.
Yes. So he's got a buff coat,
sharp.
which is thick leather, which could stop blades. It's a really thick leather. I mean, Carl Hungus knows a lot more about this than me, but the leather buff coats are quite effective against certain weapons. Under that, the red overcoat made of wool, thick wool, and corduroy trousers and a pith helmet. So you wouldn't get cold. That's one thing.
No, absolutely not.
But you stay dry, so you don't freeze to death at night either.
And he is wearing Sean's wearing a bearskin overcoat, waistcoat.
Wasn't it?
Bayonets.
That was Shaka Zulu's big discovery. Was he found out their shields were made of the heavy leather, and they found out if you dipped it in water, it would harden and stop the bullets.
Ah.
Yeah, and he learned that from the British. It was British leather jerkins.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is standard British military tactics of the day. Volley fire, pepper them a bit, and then volley fire. In you go with the bayonets. And this local guy's going, "Oh, I've never seen this kind of warfare before." So Sean's in the thick of it because he's a nutter.
Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, for people who like military strategy, this is a fantastic movie. And here's your arrow moment. Unfortunately, it didn't go in the eye. It's like King Harold said, "I spy with my little eye something beginning with A." So he keeps on fighting even though he's been shot in the heart. So this is where they think he's a god now, and now stopping the fantastic moment here. You can see the extras. There's one or two of them thinking, "What, do I get down now or not, or what, or what?" John's obviously shouting at them, "Get down, you!" Or you don't get paid.
Yes, exactly. You want your 4 pence? Get down.
You wonder how many people actually could speak English or knew what was going on.
Well, this is it. I mean, they must have had translators. But I don't know where the actors came from, whether these are Moroccans or whether they went to Afghanistan and shipped them over. I don't know. No idea.
I think they were just the local Moroccans where they filmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell these are not actors. Like, they're real people.
Now,
I know there's the one character that comes in later who was like a night watchman that they found him and used him in the movie.
So now, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he kept his night watchman job and he got in trouble for falling asleep on the set. And finally, John Huston was like, "You're making enough money. You can quit your night watchman job."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're paying you more than your job.
Well,
we're giving you a year's wages.
So here he wants
100 years old. Like the world's most dedicated security guard ever. Holding down 2 jobs at 100.
So this is where the ruler of the previous city wants to execute people. And what they want to do is they want to convince the strategy is, as you defeat each city, you recruit these people, so you show them mercy. And but he doesn't get the strategy. He's not with the program, basically. Sean Connery, by the way, is now using the arrow that he was shot with as his swagger stick. Do you know what a swagger stick is?
Yes.
Those turrets there look like penises. I don't know why.
Everything comes back to that.
I don't know why that is. Maybe I've had too much Zinfandel from California.
It's those bloody grapes, man.
It's the weird water from California.
Absolutely.
Yes, be us brothers. What? It's an untapped market, Tony says. See this guy on the right with no teeth in his mouth at all. That's great. There he is. Enemies all around.
Yeah, they're going to make great recruits.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. He's like a really, really old Bill Pullman, isn't he?
Game over, man.
I used to be Hellboy. I used to be Hellboy. Sorry, I said Pullman, didn't I?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you said Pullman. I went to Paxton.
You know what?
Pullman, Paxton.
That's why that joke fell flat.
Now I'm seeing him, and all I can see is Ron Perlman.
Sorry.
See, you shouldn't even brought it up. The wild turkey let it go by.
That's the Zinfandel's fault. I blame
Great.
the Zinfandel. It's the spirit of California.
That's right.
Attacking my pop gene.
Tony blames the grapes.
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 Don't drink anything from California. There we go. So, as popular as he is right now, at the other end of the scale is my prime minister at the moment.
Oh, yes.
Shikanda. Sekanda the god. Yes, the Greek. Oh, so they call him Sekanda.
Shikaka.
Ron Perlman, I should have actually
what does
said.
this Shikaka mean?
Ron Perlman, who that bloke looked like Ron Perlman's granddad, is actually the next movie I plan to do to honor Sean Connery, because you can't just do one to honor Sean Connery, is The Name of the Rose.
Oh, yeah.
And Ron Perlman's in that.
Yeah.
Show.
And Christian Slater.
Yes. It was his first role, wasn't it?
The early one, yeah. I think Billie Jean was before that. That may be his first.
For who? Ron Perlman?
For Christian Slater.
Oh, Christian
Star of
Slater.
Star Trek 6, Christian Slater.
I was still pondering on Ron Perlman, who was in Ice Pirates.
Oh. He's been in everything, though, isn't he? He's a jobbing actor.
No, yeah. Ice Pirates with this director's daughter, Angelica Houston.
Do you know all three of these
that's
actors?
right. She was in that. I'd forgotten. Yeah. And but Ron Perlman's like 3 foot tall in there.
And the black guy from Manimal.
He's just mentioned somebody who was a knocking shop in Durham. Durham's down the road from me.
Oh, there you go.
See, Britain's a small place, so everybody knows everybody, except we don't. So this is where they're coming up for the plan. You know, let's use this to get what we want.
Kafiri, I recognize
made me
that.
Think. I've just had a connection there. Christopher Plummer, one of its first roles was The Royal Hunt of the Sun in 1969, where he plays the Inca god chief Atahualpa, right?
Okay.
And it's Pizarro who captures him, and they just basically say, we're going to kill you unless we get this ransom. They get all the gold and the ransom, and they kill him anyway. But I've just thought of that because they are now pretending to be a god in order to get the gold, and Christopher Plummer is, the actor playing Rudyard Kipling. So it's just another connection, really. It just came to mind. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Royal Hunt of the Sun. I think it was Peter Schaffer. I'm not sure who wrote the play. Royal Hunt of the Sun, 1969. Absolutely amazing movie. If you ever get the chance to see it.
Okay.
So, and Christopher Plummer, you would never think he could do a role like that, but he's fantastic. So this is that guy you saw before is now being used. His head's being used for the.
The polo match. Yeah, you find a way to lead people. Sometimes it's as a leader, sometimes it's as the ball.
Exactly. There you go.
And we are coming up on 1 hour and 11 minutes, folks. And Tony mentioned he was able to see Dr. No at the cinema on Friday night. So good for you, brother. At the cinema.
R.I.P. Sir Sean, absolutely, Tony. He was one in a million, Sir Sean, 1 in a million. He started off as a milkman. That was one of his first jobs. And he started bodybuilding, and it was because of his physique he got noticed.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how this band would do playing Yankee Doodle.
Well, given this, you hum it and I'll play it. It's like that old joke, isn't it? The removal men. Do you know the piano's on my foot? No, love, but if you hum it, I'll play it. I think they're shouting Biden.
Oh, I thought it was Wakanda. Wakanda
forever. Monoculture.
We've never opened our borders, but everybody here is of mixed race by some strange coincidence.
We're not racist at all.
There's no black people in our country. There's no Africans in this African nation with closed borders.
This music is incredible. It's a bit like I won't say that, sorry, Native American chant.
Yes.
Look at this sort of throne and with the city in the background. And here she is, gents.
Hello,
the main
ladies.
Show. Shakira Caine.
Shakira.
And here she comes. And this is Roxanne. You don't have to tell. That's not Guinness and champagne. Abdekariaja. Don't ask me to repeat that again.
I won't.
So, just gauging. Yeah, you don't bloody gauge. That's my missus, you dirty bugger. Being only human, you're my mate, so I know I can trust you. But it is my missus. Abkananka. She's got a nice voice as well.
You don't have to put on that red light.
Yes. So, John Huston had failed to cast the role of Roxanne. Why am I thinking about Steve Martin now?
I don't know. Oh, well.
The retelling, that's another brilliant movie, isn't it? Roxanne. Yeah. The retelling of Cyrano de Bergerac.
Sir Sean had a nose job we're not aware of.
So he hadn't cast the role of Roxanne before the shooting. Now, during the filming, so the movie had already started filming, they had a dinner party for some of the cast and crew. Huston asked if he'd fill the part. He said no. Everybody looked towards Shakira Caine, who was sitting at the table with Michael, and it was like she was sitting right in front of him, and so Huston cast her on the spot because she was a model. She's Indian and perfect for the role, really. She's actually born in British Guyana, though. So she's not Indian. I was wrong. Roxanne, yes.
Roxanne.
So the holy people have visited them. And they want them to go there because he's made a big impact. The guy who plays the high priest, by the way, Kafu Selim, that was his real name. Sorry, Karum Ben Boul was his actual name. But he was 103 years old.
Yeah, he was the night watchman.
Wow.
103 years old. And that was his only movie appearance. He wasn't an actor. He never had any acting training.
He was the night watchman.
Yeah.
That they found. Yeah.
Really? Same guy?
And then when he saw the footage that they'd recorded, he said,
he had a heart attack
I can now... No, well, yeah. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, but no, he said that he will now live forever.
Wow. See, I didn't realize that was the same guy. I remember seeing something about one of the guys was credited as being 103 years old. Man.
Yeah, that was the night watchman, the most dedicated security guard on earth.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I thought my retirement plan sucked. Imagine being 103 and still working night shift at Walmart.
By the way, there was a bit of racism on the set towards Saeed Jaffrey.
No way.
In 75. Oh, yeah, 75. There was a bit of racism. I mean, Sean and Michael were modern men. I mean, Sean had married an Asian lady. Sorry, not Sean, Michael. And Sean obviously was a modern man. But Saeed Jaffrey was not treated very nicely. So at one point, Michael Caine said he'd had enough, and he shouted at the crew, "Get this man a fucking chair!"
Yeah, it's a thing.
Amazing scene, that, isn't it? That's got to be, what is it? Flash, when they overlay a picture.
Oh, matte painting.
Matte painting, that's it. Yeah, thank you, Rob.
Still absolutely
beautiful
gorgeous
scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that scene with the waterfall as well. I love the way they look at each other. This is the original buddy movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is a buddy movie.
This is like before the 1980s. This is 75, so apologies for my French there, but I think it was warranted. It was warranted given the way that
it's a historically accurate statement, so therefore I think it's perfect in context.
And it's disgusting because people like Saeed were this is back in the day when people wanted to integrate and wanted to. I'm not saying there isn't people today who want to do that, but this is back in the day where they had to struggle to integrate and did their very best and still got treated like shit.
Yeah.
And he was an incredible actor, and just to not get any respect at all was disgusting.
Well, and it says a lot about
lifelong friends with Connery.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
He was lifelong friends with Connery.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it says a lot about their character that they're willing to speak out, so forcefully at that time. There's a lot of difference in standing up and doing the right thing at the right time rather than writing a strongly worded tweet about something you're outraged about.
From the safety of your bedroom.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I can't remember the Chinese phrase or saying, but it's people who do things, people who don't do things shouldn't interfere with the people who are actually doing things. That's a really bad rephrase.
Yeah, it gets the point across.
There's the one-eyed trouser snake.
I think that's official Masonic imagery.
It's the Eye of Sauron. So this is a bit where we come into contact with the fact that Alexander the Great was a Mason. John Huston tried to launch this movie many, many times beforehand. He did originally want Clark Gable and Humphrey Bogart to do the roles. There he is, 103.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible.
He later reimagined it with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, and even Richard Burton and Peter O'Toole. Now that would have been good. Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole.
I think this is the best combination because these guys were friends.
They were, and it's clear, isn't it, when you watch the movie?
Yeah,
that
and it's a movie about friendship.
chemistry.
So it's like it makes sense.
It's perfect casting. You can see that comes through.
It's like what was that movie, The Long Riders,
mm,
the Western, where it's like about the James gang, and everybody in it are actual brothers.
yeah. Well, the reason I picked this movie,
are in it, and the Quaids are in it.
can you see the sort of Conan double-headed snake thing? It's got that as well. The reason I picked this movie was because it was not just one of Sean's most favorite movies. It was also one of Michael's most famous movies. And so they're testing if he's a god here. But it was also the fact that they were such good friends. It comes through in the movie. And it highlights a part of Sean Connery that you don't see in the James Bond movies. You know, the James Bond movies he did to get famous and for the money. He didn't mind it. We enjoyed it, but it wasn't as, if he admitted it, the James Bond movies weren't his, favorite movies. Because for various reasons. He did like doing them. They were enjoyable, but there were other movies that he did that he enjoyed more.
I just saw an interview with him from, was it 68 or 69? And they were, the interview, no one had, I guess people hadn't known he'd left Bond yet. And the interviewer was like, well, the next Bond, he's like, oh no, there's no more of those. I was like, sorry.
That guy's doing so well.
But he talked more about The Hill than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. You see,
he loved that movie,
and we're going to do that as well at some point. He really did like it.
I mean, he loved Bond because Bond gave him the opportunity to do those other movies.
Yeah, and he was on. Was it What's My Line? Did you say? Because he was on. He appeared on What's My Line in the '60s as well. And he talked about it.
It was on YouTube, and it was just some random outtakes of the interview. It's an American guy interviewing him, but
the message. So that means when we go to the supermarket, we'll get our baked beans half price. I've been terrible with the chat. Here we go. Sorry, because it says it's also a road trip, a really weird. It is.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's an odyssey, isn't it? It's an odyssey. It's a travel through to the ultimate conclusion, which is man a god? Is he not? And how many movies have we seen where people have been given that moment of worship me and I'll give you all the kingdoms of the earth? And
yes,
this is that moment again. And this time he takes it.
And I think Tony adds to that pretty nicely in his comment as well.
Oh, Trim, I've got us on 1885. Oh, Nick, it's Sean.
Whoa,
Nick, Sean.
We've got
Hang
Cheeky
on.
Bum.
This is reminiscent of Zardos, where I won't go into detail, but Zardos is even more than that. And because Matty says, you mortals wait down here.
Yes.
Indeed. And Tony, is it two snakes together but as one? Yes.
Ooh.
The riddle of steel.
Yeah. All right, and I apologize. I try and watch the chat, folks. I wearied from my duties.
That's all right.
I blame the turkey. It's
Oh,
a nice drink.
Ralph, no, you were in the pool at the time.
In the pool.
In the pool.
With my 40-liter bottle of turkey.
Yes. With your 1980s cordless phone. So yeah, I mean,
so what are the odds that Alexander the Great found this country?
Yeah,
He was a Mason, and he also founded Hare Krishnas.
Well, that's why you should be a Mason. You're missing out on all this stuff, dude.
I know.
well, the
And then I don't have to pay for parking
Krishnas.
for it.
I mean, I don't know how true this is or false this is, but I have heard stories that there is money to be made.
I think there is for some people at the top, yes.
Hmm.
I don't know
Yes.
how prevalent that is anymore.
See,
Because
18th
they were
century,
kind of outed.
18th century Scientology.
What?
Oof.
I've just found a little factet here. That's a nice word, isn't it? A factet.
Ooh, I like that.
And I'm saving that for later. That's unreal. It can't be true, but it's just mad. Michael Caine, Christopher Plummer also appeared in movies. Jack Ripper movies. Caine and Jack the Ripper, 1988. Plummer and Murder by Decree, 1979. All three actors appeared in movies by Richard Attenborough: A Bridge Too Far, Gandhi, and Closing the Ring. So there you go.
Cool.
So here, this is the moment where he's shown the riches. This is what they've been. This is the moment. This is the money shot. Moment that we went for.
Yeah, just they are just taken in by all that.
Yep. And it's probably the only scene in a movie where there's no dialogue for about a minute. It's literally no dialogue.
No dialogue, no background music, nothing.
He's licking the gold plate. That's not brush, Danny.
Live like Scrooge McDuck.
It's not brush. It's not your mother's brush. That's
Dude, if he tore those robes off and jumped in to swim in those, I would. Yes. Mucho bling, as we say down here in Texas.
And those coins, I mean, I don't know how old they are. I mean, is this Greek coinage? And it's been there all this time. So, yeah, this is obviously inspiration for Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You think about, oh, wow, you've just uncovered a 3,000 or 2,000-year-old treasure hoard.
Well, think about the shot where Indiana Jones gets on the white horse, rides away, and everybody rises up from prayers as he rides by. I can definitely see a lot of the things that Spielberg took from
why
this.
else was Sean Connery cast as his father? Because of this movie.
There you go.
Now he finds a huge ruby.
There you go. The reference to Batman.
I can do better than that. Look at this one. Mine's twice the size of yours, Sean. Here's your bigger one.
I can pull it out of your ear.
Yes. And in the pool, get you
In the pool.
And this is his story from The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
Story
yes.
about the giant ruby.
Yes. The size of was it the size of a grapefruit?
Yeah.
But where's the jungle to burn down? Is that at the end of the movie? Are you spoilering me?
Connery is the Joker of this story.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe the jungle is Connery's chest hair.
Yeah.
My chest whip shall be burned away.
Yes.
What?
You can grow potatoes in my chest here.
Look at my chest. It's like Robin Williams.
There's a miniature Errol Flynn swinging around on my chest hairs.
There's a colony of chimps on my back.
Oh, by the way, the scene where Danny meets Roxanne was shot at the Casbah of Alt Ben Haddou, north of the Moroccan city of Ouarzazate. This site was used in Gladiator in 2000 as the North African arena where Maximus.
Are you not entertained?
And
rock the Casbah.
But that site is Morocco's Hollywood. It was used for Kingdom of Heaven, Hills Have Eyes. So this movie really set up that region to be a filming location for Hollywood.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sidetrack here. On my channel, I should really do a Bollywood movie. Oh, I've got one in mind.
Villiers Kundish. Now, I haven't got any gifts this time. I'm really sorry.
The only problem with Bollywood movies is they're all like 4 hours long.
Yeah, but maybe I'll do a clip version. I don't know. I've got one that's got a spectacular chase scene that just the one scene alone makes the whole movie worth watching.
Is it Singham?
I don't remember the name of it. I've got to go looking it up. It's the one where the guy is doing a chase scene on a horse, and he slides on the horse sideways underneath under
the truck.
Yes.
Like a motorcycle.
Yes. It's like that scene alone makes that movie worth watching.
There you go. This is the only GIF I've been able to find. It's Sean looking in. Sorry, Sean. Michael. Michael, get my bloody name right. Michael looking in disbelief at the godhood of Sean. There you go.
I should have wrote a bloody horse.
Yeah. What could not be called Sean? So this is where he's essentially become Solomon now, hasn't he?
Oh, yes.
And there's the other one. That's the only other one I could find. And they're in the Himalayas. So thank you very much for your... That's like Monty Python, that the way they all walk backwards.
He's not a god. He's just a very cheeky boy.
My wife broke my toaster.
Who let the dogs out? What?
Someone did. I want to know who.
Someone stole my Pop-Tarts.
Peace be with you.
I'm not sure this part of the movie is like... It's... I don't know. What do you think of this whole scene, gentlemen? Is this like John Huston's just departed on one here? Because it is constant all the way through, but then you get this scene and it's like, here we go. We're back on track now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, now Michael's got a bow.
Yeah, this is the Kurtz moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to get real now.
It's where their friendship has failed.
Now, this is an almost perfect movie because, in my opinion, there's about 15 minutes that could have been cut out of the last third of the movie, in my opinion. And I think it was because John Huston did things on the fly, which he got away with because he was so talented. But sometimes it got a little bit flabby in the movie. So this is a near perfect movie, but in the last third of the movie, there are one or two places where it's not, there's a bit of fat there.
Yeah. Yeah, where he just wouldn't let editing trim it up for him.
No, he was too precious with it. And this is where it's starting to overtake him. And as Cosmetti says, the honeymoon's over.
Yeah,
he's starting to get overwhelmed with it. And it's like, let's go now, please. Let's go now. And they could go now with all of the treasure. But now he's consumed with it now.
Mm-hmm.
He's bought the con himself.
He has.
He broke the kayfabe and he's living the kayfabe.
Yes, exactly.
Become Hulk Hogan.
He has the discount card to Kmart and he's not giving it up.
There's no more Terry. There's only the Hulkster. Brother. You ever snap into a Slim Jim there, Danny? I know I'm mixing wrestlers.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene, Danny.
Oh, I miss Mean Gene. Gene was so much of the 80s.
Do you know how we talked about this? We talked about what Sean Connery and Michael Caine's favorite film roles were and how they really liked these movies. Well, I'm going to break one to you, gents.
Oh, no.
This is Sir Sean Connery's favorite movie role.
Really? Oh,
yep.
Well, I'm glad you selected it.
More than any other movie he did. And it's because it calls into question the nature of man. It's not just the hero. Because the hero, it's like, what is it, that phrase? I'm going to get it wrong here. When Alexander had conquered all the countries of the world, he wept because there was no more countries to conquer. And he sort of reached a brick wall now, and it's only downwards from now.
Wait a minute. Are you saying he likes this better than he liked Zardoz?
I'm afraid so.
I find that hard to believe.
I do too, man.
And more than League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So yeah, this is
was it an earthquake? Was it earthquake or meteor? Meteor? He was in one of those horrible disaster movies.
Yeah, he's some pretty awful. Not as much as Michael. Michael is in loads of really.
He was in everything.
Movies.
Yeah.
That was the joke. Was that Michael Caine was in every movie?
Yeah. But
I can completely understand. I think he's done a fine job in this role. Very impressive so far.
Well, it's the idea of a man who has suddenly been elevated to the highest position possible.
Yeah, I mean, imagine yourself placed in a position where you're treated as God. Yeah,
I'm sure Connery went through that, right? He went from being like,
fell from grace to
James Bond overnight.
He did, yeah. When he did some amazing movies in the 70s, but they weren't as popular as Bond because
But I mean, like he had this life. Like he went from being like nothing to all of a sudden worshipped by the world.
Yeah, he was a milkman in Edinburgh.
Yeah. And a year later, he's James Bond.
And one of the first roles he had actually was another movie he'd done on this channel, which was The Longest Day, where he played an Irishman who gets off the boat with a Sten gun, it's just it's a great part. But
I'm sorry, I'm just imagining Sean coming off the boat going, "I'm an Irishman."
Yeah.
Well,
but he
tries
to sound a bit Irish. It's a great movie. I mean, he sort of tries to sound a bit Irish, but Tony Nasser's got the quote there, Ralph. Do you want to read that out?
Yes. And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
There we go.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Tony.
So this is a man who believes he's starting to believe in the myth. He's starting to believe he is the myth, that this is his destiny, and he's got significance now because he was just one of millions of people beforehand, you know, in the British Empire, in India, one of millions on those trains. That remember at the start of the movie, the train's so packed that people were riding them on the top of the roof. One of millions of people. And now he believes he's set apart. And this is where it falls apart when he wants to take a wife, wants to take Roxanne. And this is where it all comes into pieces.
Yeah.
Now, and so this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be so prosaic, but I'll say it anyway. If the whiskey don't get you, the women will.
Well, you know, Roxanne is the Yoko Ono of this movie.
These songs you write are wonderful, Roxanne. I'll give these to the band. Listen, Paul, this is what we need to be singing now.
We'll make it a B-side of my next album.
It's 40 minutes of screaming. It's beautiful.
Tony Nutt says this was from Die Hard.
Oh, the Alexander quote is from Die Hard. You know, the best Christmas movie ever. Fight me.
Yeah,
if
but
you
it's a
don't
great
believe
debate,
it.
though. It's the great debate.
No.
Is it Die Hard or Die Hard 2?
No, it's Die Hard. Absolutely Die Hard. Die Hard 2, I'm sorry.
Die Hard 2 had the ejection seat thing.
The same exact thing for me. I was okay with it until the ejection seat. Die Hard
it became total cartoon.
True.
Yeah, Die Hard is beautiful. Greatest Christmas movie ever.
Because it's grounded all the way through. It never becomes a cartoon.
Right, exactly. And you got all the way to the end when you have oh shoot, I forget the character's name. The cop that finally overcomes his inability to shoot his gun again.
Oh, Carl Winslow.
Yeah, thank you.
Carl.
Did I do that?
And duct tape saves the day in Die Hard.
Oh, you never underestimate duct tape. Oh, and okay. Kay has a comment, but you gotta understand, men just don't think logically at that point. Kay, I'm sorry. You're right. They could have left with the treasure, but you know, hot chick, boom, brain stops working every time.
So there's the rope bridge, which was copied in Temple of Doom.
Yep, absolutely.
The significant rope bridge, and I've got a factet about that, which will shock you. I'm not so sure about that balcony up there, whether it's very safe.
Yeah, that looks a little sketchy. I'm not sure that's up to OSHA standards.
But and here she comes, the beautiful Shakira Caine.
Roxanne. Hey, you know what? To drive subscribers to your channel, we should make this a top 10 things you never knew.
Yeah. Top 10. Top 10 Easter eggs inside Easter eggs.
Spoiled Easter eggs in top 10.
No Easter eggs. Culturally inappropriate holiday eggs.
Things you didn't know about Boba Fett's armor.
No, it has to be something shocking like you won't believe what Michael Caine did in this movie, etc.
You won't believe what was under Sean Connery's kilt.
Crazy fact about Michael Caine's glasses.
Spoiler, it's his shoes.
Roxanne. Oh, here's your crown, Roxanne.
Turn on your red light.
Do you like your crown? I got it from Kmart. So, yeah, he's completely in the delusion now.
Yeah.
I think it's also a statement on empire as well, because is there an intoxication? You know, I mean, I'm not that familiar with the British Raj in India, but I know that the British Empire became complacent, and it got used to. It's the standard phases of where things become really decadent and too self-assured and things like that.
Yeah, every culture goes through that. You've seen it with the Roman Empire. My apologies, the British Empire, the Turkish Empire, and honestly, from an American perspective, we see it with the American system as well.
I mean, the Americans, you've avoided empire by actually occupying all of the countries.
It's just because our country's big enough that we were able to occupy the states.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have a continent,
expanded our own frontier. Yeah.
I mean, you've got all the resources you need there, really.
No, but when you lose sight of the original goal, corruption takes seed.
Yep.
Or takes root, rather.
Because when he says, "This poor girl thinks she's going to catch fire," and that's his line. Wow, not smooth.
Well, I know I've often met women at bars, and I've reassured them they wouldn't catch fire if they went home with me.
At this point, Michael Caine's character has diminished to almost nothing now, and they've lost that. For all of the talk of masonry and brotherhood, they've lost that brotherhood now.
Yeah. Well,
that connection's gone.
Think back to his. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Please finish.
No, I was.
Yeah, I was just going to say, think back to his earlier objection of what he would go home to in England, being a porter, being a doorhop, basically. And that's basically what he's been demoted to with his position here.
Yeah. And you see, both men were from working class backgrounds. Both men they didn't put airs and graces on. I mean, Sean did a little bit, but I mean, what you saw was what you got, They both came from poor backgrounds. And the characters they're playing are simple working class men. And what would happen to these men in this situation?
Yeah.
It's the story of the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when a poor, like the person wins a lottery and they totally lose it.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a really good story of a guy that it's like North or South Carolina who won the lottery at 19. So he was a wrestling fan, so he started his own ladies wrestling league.
And he
bought a bunch and I think he burnt through most of his money because he bought TV time and bought the talent and all this stuff and had people on paychecks. But yeah, he got his dream, but it's like, maybe not the wisest thing to do.
Well, this scene here as well is, the night before, Sean's character Danny's asked Peachy just to stay long enough to witness the ceremony. And so he does for old time's sake. Obviously, that's a bad move. Yeah. He should have left.
Well, and Cosmetti brought up a couple of different things about his reassurance.
Yeah, she didn't seem comforted for some odd reason.
Yeah, he said she would catch fire, but she wouldn't die. It's like,
we're going to see as she's introduced that she's completely drugged up to the nines. Well, drugged up to the eyeballs, literally. I have to say that this costume's fantastic. I mean, you know, she was a model, the actress. Well, she became an actress for this movie, but she was just become an actress at this point.
And a hat tip to Tony too, with the blue Raja, master of silverware. I'm still working on that myself.
That's great, that scene there. You see they're all in the... You see Saeed's got a brand new green uniform, and they're all in that finery.
Yeah. And she's coming up the stairs like I do, coming up the stairs to my upper deck of my 2-story trailer.
Wearing white dress?
I have been known to at the toga parties.
Oh, dear. So we've... say she's completely drugged to the gills, and... in order to marry, because she doesn't want to marry, she's scared.
Well, you know, the bathtub scotch will do that to you.
Mm. And so this is where he's pushing things beyond beyond. It's sort of I've won. I'm now convinced I can't lose, you know.
Well, you notice too, like it's about the friendship breaking down, because every scene now, Caine is always further and further away from Connery.
Yeah, that's a great observation.
When they first thought he was a god king, he was like literally like sitting on his shoulder, like they were touching. And now
he's just like a lackey.
Apart. Yeah, now he's just in the background somewhere.
And now he's been bitten and blood has been drawn, so clearly he's not a god. And this is where it's all gone a bit pear-shaped, I'm afraid.
I think the gig is up there.
It's all gone good tits up. I've got to tell you.
I'm afraid we're in some dinky-do there, Peachy.
Yep. It's time to go. I've twigged on, Danny. It's get out of here. Go like the clappers. Stop. Brush it out, Danny. So, bit of a swagger. There you go. Now, I don't know whether this... I mean, obviously the book was written quite a while ago, but the problem with us watching it now is we've seen this kind of thing in so many movies, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
Is this original? Well, possibly, yeah, because the book itself was written at the time when a lot of this kind of narrative of, they're not gods, kill them.
Yeah.
Kipling kind of invented the adventure story, right?
Yeah. Well,
like
the thing,
fantasy adventure, boy's own adventure kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing now is, if it was remade, you'd have Josh Gad and Will Ferrell in the cast in the role. And it's like,
and I think if they made it now, you would have a Scrooge McDuck swimming in gold scene.
Yes.
And a giant pile of CG gold.
Oh. Well, no, you would have a whole scene about how the British Empire was a horrible, horrible thing, and it's all Whitey's fault. I mean, I won't deny the British Empire wasn't all good, to say the least, but not necessary in a narrative which is about humanity and our weakness for power.
Well, the frustration. The frustration I have is that a lot of even the sins of the British Empire, the Americans, all the different cultures are ignored because people just don't want to address them.
Yeah, because this is a universal story. It's not specific to the British Empire.
Exactly.
Well, and it's not even about the empire. It's about two men.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. It's humanity
And they're
itself.
in a fantasy land. They're not in a real world. It's like
I like the way they've still got that loyal rifle regiment from the very start. And again, that reminds me of Temple of Doom again. But Tony Nanta says it didn't work for Captain Cook.
He was just trying to be last, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking
Captain
of. I was thinking of Captain Hook's. I was thinking of Captain Hook's right-hand man.
Captain Hook, I think, he should have retired a bit early, shouldn't he, Tony?
Yes.
He pushed it a bit too far. He should have waited for the Mormons to visit all those Polynesian isles.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they've lost the gold. They're running for their lives.
So there you go. So we're now down to brass tacks, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And we got they're down to just them two with their martini rifles. And then he goes off to fight for them. And he's shouting for Kali there, that battle cry. Kali's the Hindu god of death, I believe.
Kalima, Kalima.
And I'm not 100% certain, but it would be period correct, I believe, for these to be single shot cartridge rifles.
Correct. Yep. Which is why you had the first rank fire, second rank reload.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Standard British tactic.
In American history, this would be the same era of weapons used at Custer's Last Stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, decent rifles they had then.
Yeah, not bad rifles. The main drawback was they were single shot.
Yeah. Did they ever have square formation in the U.S. Army in that period? They must have had square formation.
I believe so. It may have been on its way out by that period. During the Civil War, we started off using
guerrilla warfare.
Tactics like that, and then evolved kind of into guerrilla warfare.
So here, the last scene here, or one of the last scenes, I should say, they're starting to sing their old military regiment song, Minstrel Boy, which is based on a hymn, actually. The Lord Goes to War. And here is the bridge scene at the very end. And this is the essence of the man, that at the very end, he's not afraid to stare death down, and he'll go ahead with what he's being told to do.
And of course, I love that he asked for forgiveness before the deed.
Sorry, what I got you into exactly. So he's redeemed himself to his brother at the very end.
And there again, they're back. Well, John Huston told Connery, so he's playing one person.
And the significance of this,
they're playing the same character, and then when they split apart, they're not the character anymore.
Yes, exactly. And you know the significance of this last part of the movie, as we say goodbye to Sir Sean Connery, and as he plays this heroic death, I think it's symbolic, because you know we're saying goodbye to the character in this movie, but as he falls down into the ravine there, you know, a brave death. You know, we're saying goodbye to an acting giant who has gone, but will never be forgotten.
Absolutely not.
Half an hour to fall. So they crucify him. So not just Danny was thrown down the ravine, but Peachy was crucified. You see how Peachy's talking about himself in the third person as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, because he's brought Daniel back with him. So they've become a myth, and he's become a myth, and he's gone into this supernatural world now, you know, and he has brought him back. And how has he brought him back all this way?
Chekhov's gun.
There we go. Yep. So he became a king, and that's all there is to tell. So he's performed his duty to get Danny all the way back there, as promised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the trumpet. Because they were honourable men in terms of the fact that they were crooks and they were dishonest, but they were honourable in terms of if they made a deal, if they had a duty to do, they would do it.
Yeah. They kept their deals.
Kept their bargain. So Danny made it back. And that's also something about lost soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And amazing. So that fact about a factette was in the making of featurette of the DVD, footage of Sean Connery performing the fall, because he did actually do the stunt.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he actually fell into the ravine.
Wow.
He fell about 100 feet to the bottom of the ravine. Right? Fact. But because his fall was broken by a huge pile of cardboard boxes.
Wow.
So his 2010 book, The Elephant to Hollywood, Michael Caine said the real hero then took his place. Joe Powell was an experienced stuntman. Joe fell so skillfully, twisting and turning on the way down. So I think there was a stuntman who did the stunt as well on the way down. Very last minute, straightening himself as he hit a mattress dead center. So John Huston turned and said, "That was the darndest stunt I've ever seen." So yeah, I mean, incredible movie. Sir Sean Connery's most favorite movie. And I have to apologize. The opening credits at the start of the show, I said in memory of Sean Connery, and I do apologize. I should have said in memory of Sir Sean Connery. So
absolutely. You know, I would like to sum it up with one thing. There was a quote in the trivia about Karun bin Buaith, who played the high priest. That's the gentleman who was 103 years old, and he made his only movie appearance. And when he saw some of the footage, he declared that he would now live on forever.
Yes.
And obviously, through the various films that Sir Sean has given us, he also will live on forever. And I think this is a fitting tribute to him. And thank you, Sir Sean. And our prayers are with your family.
Absolutely. And Tony Nasser as well says Sir Sean Connery is indeed immortal. And that's it. I think somebody who has the quality, and we, no one's perfect, but someone who has the quality of someone like Sean Connery, who comes from an era where and a social class where it was about working hard, and it was about getting where you needed to be by working hard, and not thinking that the world owes you anything.
Absolutely.
And that class of actors, he was one of the last ones. And I think of other actors from that era, like Richard Burton, like Peter O'Toole, you know, who all knew each other. And I think really now there's very few left. Michael Caine's one of the few left now. And, you know, at least we've still got Michael at this point. But yeah, it's a sad day that we heard this news. And like I said at the start, if it wasn't for all the white noise of this, as the Queen would say, an annus horribilis.
Yeah, yes. Fitting term.
You know, if it wasn't for all the white noise of that, then there would have been a lot more significant. But how many other events this year? 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War, and huge celebrations planned, but no, it was all cancelled because of the you know what. But overall, gentlemen, overall thoughts as we close on both the movie and on Sean Connery.
Well, as far as me, outstanding movie, and I think as we touched on as we were going through it, it's a story of the of human nature. You know, the parting of friendship, as Flash pointed out, and it's a testament to the adage of power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you think, Flash?
I'd say take the money and run.
Yeah, absolutely. Kate called that one right, man. It's like grab the gold and get out. Forget the booty, man.
When you see a ruby that makes your jaw drop, you just put it in your pocket and go back home and live like a king.
Yeah, when you see a ruby that weighs more than a turkey, just take it and go.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, and yeah, I think I learned something from
the Chicago way.
I think I learned how some people, there's a lot of divide on this movie, but for me, I've always thought it's an excellent tale, and it's a tale it might be a tall tale. It is exaggerated in parts, but there's reasons why Sean Connery, it was his most favorite movie, and it has a fundamental message about human nature, and it is adventure at the heart of it. And that's why people want to hear narratives, because they want to hear these stories about daring do and about people who've gone up against massive odds. And at the end of the day, this film stands the test of time, and it influenced many other movies. And it's not the movie most people would think Sean Connery or Michael Caine would be most beloved of, but it was for both these actors. It was in their top three. Sean, it was his favorite movie. I think Michael Caine, it's his second favorite or third. It might be his most favorite now. But also the thing that comes through is that fantastic friendship between the two actors, which they had for many, many years, and that's a very special thing as well.
Yeah, they've got great on-screen chemistry.
Exactly. And Cosmetti, just one last. Here we go. Two last comments. We've got Tony Nasser saying, "Magnificent film, legendary performance." I think you know what, that sums it up better than everything we've just said.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, Cosmetti says, "How many women he could get with all that bling." Though one ruby is all it would take. Speaking for my gender, not gonna lie. Yeah,
gotta put a ring on it.
Yeah. You know, he could have took the bling and got the ring later on, but who knows? And on that note, I'd like to say thank you, many thanks to my two co-hosts tonight. Bad Back Ralph, also known
thank you.
Call me Ralph. Ralph, you want to just shout out your Teespring and your own channel and your Twitter handle, etc.?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on Teespring under stores, teespring.com/stores/they call me Ralph. I did recently put up a new shirt design. Gonna have a few more coming up in the coming weeks for Christmas. So hopefully you'll find something funny that will reach out to your friends and family. If not, you can always hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are open at New Random Geek on Twitter, or you can hit me up on Parler at They Call Me Ralph. If you have a specific design or anything, feel free, hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to work something up and see if we can find something that'll suit your needs. Or you can email me. My email is newrandomgeek@gmail.com. So I appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you, Tony. Really great to see you here, and I hope that you have a great Sunday. And thank you, Cosmetti. As always, we appreciate you being with us.
Absolutely. And what about the YouTube channel as well?
Oh, yeah. YouTube is you can just do a search for They Call Me Ralph. Most of my stuff, Pete does the highbrow stuff. I do the lowbrow B movies. The next thing that is coming up probably next week, or probably toward the end of this week, rather, with it being Saturday into Sunday, we will be doing Raising Arizona. Gonna have a favorite from the early 90s. So I hope everyone would be happy to join in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll arrange my next one around your schedule. So if you just let me know.
Yeah. Pete and I always work it out. So we try not to overwhelm people. Pete goes with highbrow. I go with schlock. So
it works well. It's like good cop, bad cop. I don't know who the good cop and the bad cop is, though.
Absolutely.
And of course, Rudyard Flash. Tell me about yourself. Talk to me. What do you got?
You can find me on the Instagrams.
Yeah.
It's Elrod. I'm on Twitter. I don't know what my name is there. I can't never remember.
I think
of course,
on Twitter,
my book is still in the works. My photography book about the history of corn called Cornography.
I'm still waiting for that to come out.
I'm hoping it'll be a book and movie deal if we can cut that.
Yeah, dude, if you can get a movie deal off that, I will be at your premiere. Absolutely.
But you're doing commissions as well, aren't you?
Yes, commissions are open, and they'll cheap because it's been a rough year for people. I don't charge crazy money.
Hey, and
I think that's really evil that people are doing that right now.
Yeah, we can catch you. You're a regular on Drawn and Quartered, aren't you?
Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition, yes. Every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Chester Busby's channel. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I have a couple other big things I can't talk about here. So,
sweet spoilers! 10 exciting things you didn't know about Flash.
Pornography too.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. And if you want to check out Flash's art, it's amazing. And also Ralph as well. His t-shirt designs are incredible. I like the latest one, especially. I'm not going to use the word of the person on the stream right now.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
I don't want to get yeeted. Yeah, I mean, thank you to everybody who turned up in the chat today. It's been great, the support we've had. And thank you to everybody who's going to be watching recorded. And thank you to all our subscribers. I think we're at 1.1 thousand subscribers now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And, I don't monetize these videos either, by the way, because if I did, you would see adverts on them. And I can't stand adverts myself. So for now, I'm not monetizing. In the future, we might be doing different kinds of shows on here. We'll see what happens in the future. But it was great to see all of the people who turned up today. Son of Colonel, and of course, as Ralph's mentioned, Cosmetti as well, and of course Tony. also popped in as well. Not just popped in; he's been here for the entire stream.
Oh yeah.
So we really appreciate all the support we're getting, because that makes us understand that we're not just having a good time, but we're also helping other people at the same time who are blessing us by coming and watching this stream as well.
Absolutely, and that's what it's about. Is we like to think of it as a group of friends getting together to enjoy some cinema and some conversation. So if you want
cinnamon there.
Oh well,
I enjoy cinnamon as well.
The turkey's hitting a little hard, so
very good cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Hey, buddy.
And an inebriation.
We're all doing the cinnamon challenge. You guys just didn't know it. No, seriously though, some cinema, some conversation. We love it when people are on the live stream, but we love it when people listen to the replays and the commentary. So without you guys, you're what makes it fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't do the show on my own, so not just the people that turn up in the chat, but it would be pretty boring if I didn't have Ralph and Flash here. So
the guy that's unpredictable and makes sure that it never gets monetized. Yeah, Tony just pulled out. I pulled a Sean Connery. Shanaman.
So with that, we'd like to say thank you to everybody, and what a great celebration of an amazing actor, Sean Connery, sadly missed. And it's not the only one we'll do. I really want to do Name of the Rose as well. And like I say, I'll work that in somehow. And that is another amazing movie, which I think is in the top 3 of the movies that Sean did, in my opinion anyway. So with that, thank you, Flash. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody who watched recorded. And I'd like to say good night. Good night.